Capablanca, a name that echoes elegance on the chessboard. And in this game, we see him turn a regular opening into a fireworks show, where harmony, timing, and tactical flair dance together. Let's break down every move in this short, stunning masterpiece. White begins with pawn to e4, staking claim in the center. Black replies with pawn to e5, standard, solid. Now pawn to f4. This is the king's gambit, but black plays it cool with bishop to c5, skipping the usual pawn capture, and instead targeting the weak f2 square. Knight to f3. White develops and protects the center. Black plays pawn to d6, setting up a solid chain. Then comes pawn to c3, laying the groundwork for a strong center, and possibly d4. Bishop to g4, pinning the knight. But white isn't scared. He plays pawn takes e5, a bold invitation. Black accepts with bishop takes f3, shattering the king side. Queen takes f3, now the queen is centralized, and the e5 pawn is gone. Black replies with pawn to dex5, evening things out. Bishop to c4, eyeing the f7 square. Knight to f6, developing with pressure. Pawn to d3, reinforcing e4. Black castles kingside, safety first. Bishop to g5, pinning the knight. Knight on b8 to d7, preparing more defense. Knight on d2, ready to join the center. Black plays pawn to c6, adding stability. White castles queenside. Here comes the storm. Pawn to b5, and the queenside battle begins. Bishop retreats to b3, staying on the dangerous diagonal. Bishop to e7, black finishes development. Pawn to h4, and now the kingside thunder is rumbling. Knight to c5, aiming at b3 and e4. Bishop retreats to c2, a calm response. Knight to e6, eyeing key central squares. Pawn to g4, white's ready to rip open files. Pawn to g6, but white's already in motion. Bishop takes f6, eliminating a defender. Bishop takes f6, but now, pawn to g5, forcing the bishop back. Bishop to g7, holding the fort. Rook to g1, lining up with the queen. Knight to f4, looking for activity. Knight to f1, rerouting to stronger squares. King to h8, stepping away from tactics. Knight to e3, now targeting f5 and g4. Queen to c7, eyeing the long diagonal. Pawn to h5, more pressure. Pawn to gx-h5, a crack appears. Rook takes h5, no hesitation. Knight takes h5, but here it comes. Queen takes h5, lining up the kill. Knight to f4, a desperate block. Knight to f5, ignoring it. Rook to e6, a last defensive stand. Rook to h1, more attackers join. Pawn to h6, trying to lock the file. Pawn to gx-h6, tearing it open. Bishop to f6, covering g7. Queen to g4, the pressure is unbearable. Rook to g8, but too late. Queen takes on g7, check. Rook takes g7 and now, pawn to h6, check. King to g8 and rook to h8 is checkmate. A quiet, elegant kill. This wasn't just a game. It was a symphony of precise coordination. Capablanca didn't need brute force. He used timing, space, and subtle threats to rip open the position and finish with a flourish. A miniature masterpiece in under 30 moves.